You ever have one of those mornings where you think, there's no way this day gets any weirder, and then the universe just laughs in your face? Yeah, that was me, standing on my porch, face to face with Karen, the HOA president, waving a sign so big it could block out the sun. She was all proud of herself, too, holding it up like she'd just won the lottery, only instead of money. She was serving up a bill, $15 million, cash or check, please, for cheating nature. I'm not kidding. The whole neighborhood had been ripped apart by a storm, roofs torn clean off, trees snapped like twigs, cars flipped, but my house, my little patch of stubborn luck, still stood. And instead of asking how, she's in my face, accusing me of some Houdini trick. You could practically taste the salt in the air, and not just from the ocean. More like the bitterness of folks looking for someone to blame. You must have done something illegal, she says. Voice sharp as broken glass. And the whole time I'm thinking, is this real life? I mean, yeah, my hands balled up, but I just try to keep it together. Behind her, the ruins looked like a postcard. From the end of the world, shingles everywhere, branches poking through windows. And here she is, making me the villain because my house didn't crumble. I ask her, you're serious? Everyone's lost. Everything, and you're saying this is my fault. She just smirks, like she wants everyone to see she's the sheriff of this one-horse town. Pay up or don't even think about acting like nothing happened, she spits out, all smug, planting that seed of suspicion right in front of my neighbors. I could hear people whispering, peeking out from busted windows, like I was the cause of their bad luck. One old guy muttered loud enough for Karen to hear. Maybe he rigged it. That's why his place is still here. You know what I mean? That's all it takes for doubt to spread, one little rumor. One person eager to believe the worst. Karen strutted off, leaving me standing there with a knot in my stomach and a fire building in my chest. 15 million. For what? Existing? That evening. I'm drowning in bills and insurance forms, the whole kitchen table a mess. Suddenly blue lights flash outside, and my heart jumps straight to my throat. I walk out, and there are two guys in uniforms, standing at my gate. Something feels off, their badges catch the light, but look closer and they're way too shiny, belts empty, and one of them's got a price tag dangling from his boot. Then, of course, there's Karen, hiding behind them, arms crossed, wearing a grin that could freeze lava. Arrest him, she calls, voice ringing out over the broken fences. He caused the destruction. He owes us all. The fake cops try to sound tough. Sir, you need to come with us. But one's voice cracks halfway through like he's never told a dog to sit, let alone arrested anyone. Neighbors are gathering now, phones out, waiting for the show. I don't move, just raise my hand, but not to surrender. I point to the little red camera light above my porch. Funny thing, I say, every second of this circus is streaming straight to the sheriff's office. You should have seen their faces, like a couple of kids caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Karen tries to brush it off. He's bluffing, but she doesn't sound convinced anymore. And then, right on cue, my phone buzzes. It's a message from my wife, the ace Karen never saw coming. Heading back, got the sheriff with me. Suddenly, Karen's not so sure of herself. She starts whispering to her rent-a-cops, just cuff him before they get here. But those guys are already looking for the exit, stammering about wrong address and misunderstandings. The neighbors aren't whispering now. They're murmuring, almost rooting for the truth. That's when headlights sweep the street and a black SUV rolls in. My wife steps out in her deputy uniform, badge glinting, sheriff right behind her. Karen's face goes from smug to sheet white. The sheriff walks up, looks at the two fake cops, then at Karen. So, these are your men. She tries to sell it. They're HOA security. But the sheriff cuts her off. HOA doesn't have a security force in this county. He turns to me. You the homeowner? I nod. And Karen goes for broke, pointing and yelling. He cheated. He built it wrong. He owes us 15 million. The sheriff doesn't blink, just asks me, do you want to press charges? Dead silence. Everyone is waiting. I take a deep breath. Yes. Trespassing, harassment, impersonating law enforcement. And that's all it takes. Sheriff's deputies have the fake cops face down on the pavement. Badges tossed aside like candy wrappers. But Karen isn't done. She screams, you can't do this. I represent the HOA. We control this neighborhood. The sheriff shoots her a look that would make a Grown man rethink his life choices. Lady, the HOA doesn't own people's lives, and it sure doesn't own this man's house. She tries again, but my wife steps forward, holding a folder thick as a phone. Book. Inside. Permits, inspections, every box checked. Proof that our place was built to survive a hurricane, all filed years before. He didn't cheat. My wife says, loud and clear, he prepared. That's why his house is still here. Karen's jaw drops. The sheriff steps in, asks, actually, we've got questions about HOA funds, money meant for storm repairs. Care to explain where it all went? Karen starts to unravel, muttering, what money? There was no money. But my wife has the receipts. Bank statements, contractor emails, even a spa bill with Karen's signature. Now the crowd is buzzing, filming, asking questions. One woman yells, that was our money. You said it was for barriers. Karen shouts back, lies. All lies, but the sheriff holds up the evidence. Jewelry. Car down payment, you name it. The real twist? While the rest of us were trying to rebuild, Karen was living large on HOA money. The old man who doubted me steps forward, shaking his head. All this time, you blamed him, but you're the real thief. Karen lunges, like she might tear up the papers, but the sheriff is quicker. Enough, he says, you're coming with us. And as she's led away, she turns on me one last time, eyes blazing. You think this is over? If my house is gone, yours burns with it. That landed hard. A curse, not a threat. I won't lie, it rattled me. Karen was out by morning, posting bail, smiling like the devil, promising, you'll regret this. I couldn't sleep. Every creak in the house had me on edge, so I checked the cameras, again and again. Around midnight, I get a motion alert from the back gate. I pull up the live feed. A van, headlights off, someone sneaking along the fence. My heart's pounding, but I keep calm. Call the sheriff. Whisper, they're here. Two figures move around, one bending by the propane cover, but when my floodlight clicks on, they bolt, van squealing off. Minutes later, deputies catch the van, find tools, a burned matchbook, stuff that points right back to Karen and her fixer. The sheriff just shakes his head. You did the right thing. Karen wanted my house gone to erase her mess. But she underestimated the eyes watching her. The trial was packed, neighbors filling every seat, waiting for justice. Karen sat there, no more smug smiles, just fear. The prosecutor laid out everything: fraud, embezzlement, impersonating police, attempted arson. My wife's folder nailed it shut. Guilty on all counts. When the judge's gavel fell, Karen tried to yell, this neighborhood was mine, but nobody cared anymore. The spell was broken. Afterward, the old man who once doubted me shook my hand. Guess you were the only one who built right, and the only one who fought right. My wife hugged me, proud and tired. We didn't just save our home. We saved the neighborhood from her. I looked around, families, kids, people starting to rebuild for real this time, and I realized I wasn't fighting for four walls. I was fighting for my land, my family, and my right to live free. The peace was back, finally. Or so it seemed. But let's be real, justice is never simple. Karen's gone, but the scars she left? They'll stick around. So, let me throw it to you. What would you have done? Was I right to fight back, or did I go too far? Drop your thoughts below. Let's hear where you stand on HOA power and what justice looks like in your community.